Hey guys, I'm going to go through Gold and NASDAQ this week. Hopefully my audio is better. Sorry for the other videos. If it was hard to hear me, I apologize for that. So hopefully I fixed my audio so this way you can hear me clearly. So as usual, I'm going to start on the 4-hour time frame. I'm going to start on Monday and then we'll go from there. So Monday, pretty much price is bullish. You can see price pushing up. So I'm going to look for buys. I'm going to go down to the 1-hour time frame. Now, 1-hour time frame is technically bullish. I do not consider this a shift of structure right here. Don't consider that a shift of structure at all. So price to me is bullish, but I do notice that prior to the New York session, I had this level here. I did notice that 8 o'clock respected it, so this would be an H&S setup, but personally, I did not take it. I was just observing and watching because it's not really my preferred setup, but it's still a setup. So price respected this H&S level, and then obviously price went up since we know that the 4-hour is bullish, right? So that's all that happened on Monday. Now we reset, we go to Tuesday. Tuesday, right? Tuesday came around over here. Price is still technically bullish. It's in a pullback. So for me personally, I was looking for buys. There was nothing though on Tuesday. There's no setup for sells. There was no setup for buys. So price just pretty much dropped. It's okay. We go and reset. Go to Wednesday. So before I go to Wednesday, just need to update and see what happened. So price shifted and became bearish on the 4-hour. I'm going to mark the lower low. I'm going to mark the lower high. So now price is technically bearish within this range. So you can do one of two things. You can either only look for sell setups during the New York session, or you can focus on the CMP. So I'll tell you what I'm talking about. So the CMP is right here prior to the New York session. Price created a bullish breakout. So let's go and see what happened on Wednesday. This was Wednesday, right? Now this is a setup that I was looking at because I was expecting price to come here to this bullish QMR. I would have taken it personally, but price missed and then it missed again. So it's just no trade. This is basically a no trade day. I personally, I wouldn't look for setups in here because I want price to get to this level. So you got to stick to your plan and stick to your rules. I'm okay missing a setup. So that's basically what ended up happening on Wednesday. That's what I was looking for. Now if I go to Thursday, we just kind of take a look to see where price is at, right? So price is right in this area prior to the New York session. It's over here. So as I mentioned to you before, if this looks confusing, it started to move sideways. Go to the 1-hour time frame and just understand that price is bearish because it's in between the lower high and the lower low. So if you want to keep it simple, just understand that price is bearish, right? So prior to New York session on Thursday, this is what I said, that price had a QMR already. So I was looking for a continuation, but I personally, I missed this one because for some reason, I just didn't catch it. I don't catch everything, but I do journal everything. So, but this was a great setup. So basically after price created the reversal, which is this QMR, high, low, higher, high, lower, low, price tapped it, dropped, went down, right? So price basically created a continuation pattern, which is the SNRC1, right? So you have this level of support that gets broken by a drop-based drop. And then price came back, respected it with closing price, and then went back down, right? So that would have been a great trade if you guys took it because you had closing price and yeah, this was a good trade. So we reset, go to Friday. Friday, by the time price came to Friday, price was already looking sideways, so I didn't want to trade it, especially when I was watching it. At the time I was watching it, price was pretty much moving within this range, so I just chose to skip trading. So I didn't trade Friday, I just skipped. I'd rather wait for something clean, and I'd rather wait until probabilities are in my favor. And it's something I recognize and it's something that's simple. So that was just what I ended up doing. So now I'm going to go to NAS, I'm going to go to the 4-hour, I'm going to go to Monday, just delete this. Okay, Monday technically price is bullish. Why is it bullish? Because this was the last higher high. This was the last higher low. price put in. So price is within this bullish range, right? So technically overall price is bullish. So you can do one of two things. Again, you can only look for buy setups, or you can trade the CMP, right? So if you're trading the CMP, you notice that price is pulling back here. So you're looking for pullback trades. So basically price is trying to pull back, to some kind of a support level. So I'd be looking for sells. I always mark the OHLC levels or the 4-hour levels and see if it matches with anything on the lower time frame. So when I marked that level, I noticed that price had an SNRC1 support broken by a drop-based drop, right? It's a continuation pattern, and it's a continuation pattern to create a pullback on the 1 hour to go to a deeper level, right? So I'll just show you what I'm talking about. Zoom out. Price created this QMR here. This level, I would have refined it to here, but price ended up respecting this level here, right? Once I saw this is pre-New York. Price respect this area, and then price came here and then dropped down. Price failed to create a new higher high. So that was the first signal. And then this overlap of the 1 hour level, 4-hour 1 hour overlap, to me, that's what I would have put a pending order to sell at, because if you see, price is basically creating structure, right? So basically this is what I was watching for. I wanted to see this, like the continuation to break these levels here. A pullback trade, right? So when price didn't do it in London, this was a London session. New York came in, took them out, went down, right? Basically, I just look for patterns and direction. So that was basically it. If that was confusing for you, just go back and just look at basically what I'm looking at. So you got to understand when it comes to NAS trades a little bit differently. And NAS, you got to look for the higher time frame levels. So that 4-hour level was an overlap of this level here. So if I were to, break and retest, put a level here to sell, I would have still gone to the 4-hour and see what makes more sense, right? If I'm looking for a pullback trade, you can see this level doesn't overlap with anything. And then that's how you choose the correct level, right? So I hope that makes sense. Next thing we do, go to Tuesday. Let's take a look to see what happened on Tuesday. Remember, price is bullish, right? You have to remember that price is bullish. It's just within this range. It's mid-range, but price is bullish. Price is overall bullish. You have to keep that in mind. So now I go ahead and I look for Tuesday, right? I'm keeping that in mind. Price, I'm not thinking price is bearish, right? Like you see this, price broke this and went down. I'm not expecting price to pull up and continue to go down. That's not what I'm expecting at all, because two things. One, the CMP is currently building up, right? So the price, this current leg is bullish. And number two is that price is within this bullish range. So the overall price is bullish. So you're only looking for buys, right? You have to always remember that. So then I go to the 1 hour. Now I just need to see if anything makes any sense. So when I got to the 1 hour time frame, this is when I noticed that there was a QMR here, right? Prior to the New York session, I noticed this. Now I don't enter at this level. I need to, as you guys have heard me say plenty of times, you have to refine it to the 15-minute level. So what the heck am I talking about? I go to the 30-minute time frame. I scoot over. The 1 hour is the same level as the 30-minute, so that's good so far, but that's not good enough. I need to go to the 15. Now, when I see this, I say, okay, I need to refine it to the 15 QML. So this is the 15, and then this is the apex I would use. And then now I have my two orders set. Now I just need to wait for price to hit it. What does price do? Price comes and taps and leaves, right? So that's what I'm talking about when I say you have to refine the 1 hour to the 15. If you're trading the way I trade, right? Because obviously if you don't do that, if you just see, oh, QMR here, I'm going to set a pending order here, well, you're going to get taken out. So that's why I do that. Because most of the time when you have a QMR, you refine it to the 15. Most of the time price will go to that level and hit it. If it doesn't hit it, it misses it and just continues to go up, that's okay. It's just a missed trade. There's nothing you can do. The only thing you can do is follow your plan and stick to your rules. So as long as you do that consistently every time, you'll be okay. Go back, reset, right? So now I go to Wednesday. So Wednesday, now you can see here price has officially taken out this higher high. So now price is making a new higher high. So price is still bullish, right? So I need to go to the 1 hour time frame, see what's going on. So prior to the New York session, what do I notice? I noticed that price is creating a higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. It put in a higher low here. So price is now in the process of making a higher high. I don't know if it's going to stop here, 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 here. Doesn't really matter. What I saw for myself is that there was an SNRC2 here, right? So at first I was expecting price to come back to this level for this SNRC2 before 9 o'clock, right? This is what I was expecting. Price would have come back to this level. But then I thought to myself, if price already made a higher low, there's a low probability of price pulling back this deep. It just doesn't make sense, especially when it's in the process of making a higher high. So in that case, what I have to do is shift my focus to the CMP and see if anything comes up. So I drop down to the 15 minute. Usually I use the 15 or the 5, but in this case I use the 15. What do I notice? I noticed that price created a rally-based rally, which is a continuation pattern, and that price respected it at I think this was at 8:30. Yeah. So once I saw price respected this level, just set a pending order here, and then you continue to move up. You don't have to worry about price. I mean, price can, pull back to these deeper levels, but it doesn't do that most of the time when it already put in a higher low, right? So price had already put a higher low, so it's not going to just come all the way back down here just to continue to go up. That just logically, that makes absolutely no sense, right? So that's why I had to shift my focus and shift my plan for what I was doing in this day. So I hope that makes sense. So you just have to adapt to the market. Basically, that's what I'm trying to say, right? So even though I have a clear SNRC2 here, I had to adapt to the market because I was thinking to myself, higher low, push phase, look for a continuation on the lower time frame to ride the momentum. That's basically what I was thinking. And what was that? That was Wednesday. Let's go to Thursday. This was Thursday. So price is bullish. Remember, price is bullish. I'm going to the 1 hour. What do I see in the 1 hour? Personally, I didn't see anything clean here, and I was already suspect that price wouldn't put in a higher high. So I just didn't trade this day. I just watched, and there's no setup anyway in the lower time frames to get a buy. Price ended up falling off anyway. I think this was news too, if I'm not mistaken. And then we got to Friday. Now Friday, I was not looking for sells. I was looking for buys. Reason being is because I'll just show you. Price is bullish, right? It's in between this. Oops, it's in between this higher high and higher low. And then what do I notice? I notice the QMR here, right? So I notice this QMR pattern here. This is a 4-hour QMR I noticed, right? So for this, I did personally, I did refine it all the way to a 15-minute time frame, as I always do, right? So I'll go to 15. I always refine it to the lowest level, which would be here, right? Now I do go to the current CMP, but I trade at 9 o'clock, right? So I don't trade at 8 o'clock, right? So I think, yeah, price hit this at 8:30. When I noticed price had already tapped it, I look to see at a lower time frame what's going on. So I look at the 5-minute time frame because I already missed it. Like obviously price ended up respecting it a couple more times, right? But at this point, I'm not looking to re-enter at this level since price already tapped it. I'd like to be the first to enter. So when this happens, when price taps this level before 9 o'clock, I check the lower time frames. Also, too, if you're not confident, just show you. This is the zone, right? The buy zone, the QMR. If you're not confident in this area, right, you don't want to set pending order at this level. What you would do is you would wait for another setup within this setup in this area on a lower time frame. So I'll show you. You go to the 5-minute time frame, right? Now you just basically, you're looking for another setup within this area, right? I'll just show you what the heck I'm talking about. So as soon as price gets to this level here, right? Price got to this level. I'm looking for, most of the time, I'm looking for another QMR, right? So Price got to this level. Okay, price pulls back up. Okay, still nothing. Price pulls back down. It broke this level here. Now I need to see price create a shift of structure. A QMR is always formed after a shift of structure. So I'll just show you, right? So price broke this level here, created a shift of structure. Where did that shift come from? Came from all the way down here, in this left shoulder. So this left shoulder here, I'm just gonna delete this. This mini QMR created the shift of structure, right? Now this is on the 5-minute time frame. Now if it's on the 5-minute time frame, you want to refine it to the 1-minute time frame most of the time. So only if it's clean though, right? So you can see that this is clean, right? So you have the low, high, lower low, higher high, and then you wait for price to pull back to this area, right? So go back to the 5-minute time frame just to show you what I'm talking about, right? Now this would be the level that you would want to enter from. Now, if you're saying, well, you know, price would have taken me out, absolutely it would if you're not waiting for closing price. So you can do one of two things in this scenario, right? Let's just say you don't wait for closing price, right? And you trade like me and you're using 10 points, right? For me personally, it just won't make any sense to use the apex because they're so close together. You know, it's only a couple of points difference. So I personally, I would have only kept this level. So let's just say you got taken out, right? So, okay, price took me out, right? Okay, I got stopped out. I lost this trade. My rule is that if price respects this level with closing price, I will give it a second chance. Always. I always give it a second chance if I get taken out. So all I do is set another pending order at the same exact level that I just set it at, 10 points always. And now price has tapped it and then went up. So even though I lost on this trade, I still won on this trade, right? That's if you don't wait for closing price, right? Now, if you wait for closing price, you can notice that price respected this level, right? It doesn't matter how far down it went. It's not about how far down it goes. It's about respecting this level, right? So price respected the level. So again, you can set the pending order to this level. You can set it to this level, I mean, if you wanted to, even though it never hit. But I'm just showing you two different ways to handle it. So I hope that makes sense. If you guys have any questions, just let me know. Otherwise, that's it. Thanks.